Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Game 1, ALCS, Texas two-step, and the Rangers deliver. They take Game 1 in Houston. Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. You guys know SeatGeek. They're number one in the biz, man, and they are giving you code JOHNBOYPLAYOFFS, 10% off, whether you're a first-time buyer or not. If you use SeatGeek all the time, awesome, you already get it. Here's 10% off with code JOHNBOYPLAYOFFS. If you don't, download the SeatGeek app. It's so easy to use. I can use it, and you can use code JOHNBOYPLAYOFFS. Go to one of these playoff games. Go to a concert. Go see foosball. It's a beautiful time of year to go do something, but especially if you're one of our friends down in the beautiful state of Texas. Code JOHNBOYPLAYOFF. Save yourself 10% off. Link in the description. Download the app. Trevor Plouffe de Goof, your old rapping name. How you doing?
Talkin, good fella. The Texas two-step. Ain't no beans in this chili. I don't know if Texas people like beans or not in their chili. I don't think they do. I don't mind beans in my chili. Got to be honest with you there. Hey, man, I'm excited to be back talking ball with you two fellas. Big game tonight. Honestly, this was an excellent baseball game, like breaking it down, like talking about defense and pitch sequencing. You can get real deep into some of these aspects of tonight's game. So I think we might do that. Big Jake, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm excited. I mean, the CSs are here. Like, there's a little bit of that mind juggle that, I mean, you know, it's October 15th. It feels like it went by quick, those 2 weeks of, you know, kind of jam-packed baseball where you got, you know, it starts out with 4 series each on each side, and then, but kind of, you know, there's no 5-gamers in the DSs, and the wild cards were all sweeps that, you know, it's almost like we missed a couple nights of baseball along the way that, I don't know, to be playing CS ball and come out and see JV in Houston on the bump and these Texas Rangers, it was like, whoa, there's part of me that can't believe we're here.
You love the one game a night thing. Like, sometimes it's nice to have a gluttonous amount of baseball. I get that. But when you get to this part of the season and you get these one-off games and everyone can focus on one start time, you kind of can really get into it. I love it, man. There's something about it, especially when we get to talk about it right afterwards. Because like I said, like you can go from, you know, what Jonah Heim was doing behind the plate to Montgomery. I mean, the Montgomery Alvarez matchups were exquisite for me. I loved it. But yeah, there's just something about that one game. It almost feels like the football schedule. You can do like a Sunday night football game. You get this late game right here, and all the eyes are on it. I love it, man.
Yeah, and it's I did a little head tilt when they were talking about tomorrow's schedule because we're getting another. We get a day game tomorrow, 4:37 on the East Coast for Texas-Houston follow-up. So that's going to feel pretty wild, and it's going to be interesting to see where either of these teams' headspaces are at by like 6 p.m. tomorrow. It's either going to be Texas trying to firmly establish a 2-0 lead and take it home, or it's going to be Houston answering back with the nightcap of Phillies hosting the D-backs. We'll be live streaming that one on our JM Baseball channel. Make sure you are there. Let's dive in, Big Daddy.
Let's burn it, baby.
Welcome to the ALCS, where we're in a familiar place. H-Town, Space City, city with the purple drink, city with the top drop. Houston in their 7th straight ALCS for a little Texas two-step against the Rangers and Jordan Montgomery with the old bull, Justin Verlander, on the bump for the Astros. Top 2, give Heim some time. Jonah with the RBI single. Leo D, Leo Da, Texas goes on. Texas Rangers score a run. 2-0 after 5. Jordan was the full Monty. 6.10 earned runs, but would that Texas Rangers bullpen hold? Spores, Chapman returns to Houston, but Altuve doesn't return to second. Doubled up by Mr. Carter, I am him, and Leclerc checks them out. Texas takes the first game 2-0 final.
Nice job, Poppy.
Thanks, Trev. Trev, give me I don't know. Let's unfurl this whole thing. You get a 2-0 pitchers duel, game 1 in Houston.
It's funny because if we were to go back before the postseason started and we would have known Texas would be 6-0 in the postseason, we'd have thought, oh man, they're scoring 10 runs a game. They're getting after it. Instead, what we're seeing is just like really good baseball. A great start tonight by Montgomery. Really, really good defense played behind him. Evan Carter, I mean, talk about just like some of these plays, I know like they look easy, but he's taking perfect routes to these plays. And we'll get into that ball that Bregman hit in that corner that's just like ridiculous for outfielders where I mean, the warning track at that point gets to like 20 feet long. It's such a weird space for people to be out there. We'll get more into that. But I guess the biggest part of this game, or the biggest reason that Texas won this game, was Jordan Montgomery, dude. Like he was perfect. He was executing his plan almost at will, never leaving pitches over the plate. The at-bats to Jordan ended up 0 for 3 with 3 Ks against him. I was tweeting about him, just posting the pitch charts. There was nothing in the middle of the plate at all. And the first at bat, he was kind of riding that inside part of the plate. Then he went away. Then he was down. But there was just nothing in the middle. And Jordan started chasing, man. Like he was presenting all those pitches as strikes. They ended up right off the plate, places where you're not going to do damage to them. Like you might get lucky once in a while on those pitch locations, but most of the time, if anything, you might bloop one in for a single, but more often than not, you're either swinging and missing at him or soft bad contact for an out. So Jordan Montgomery just did it, man. He really did. 1 walk on the night. He wasn't giving up anything for free. And just a couple timely hits, and we have the bullpen. I mean, Monty was a story for me, though. They've been getting these starts from Eovaldi and him that have really, that bullpen that we don't even need to talk about anymore. It hasn't been a problem because the starters have given them length. They've really been able to shorten the games. And when you do that, usually the W is on your side.
8 pitches from Chapman, 12 from Spores, 16 from Leclerc. I mean, the Houston's pitching also deserves some love here. I mean, 6.22 earnings from Verlander, who, had 1 or 2 Verlander battling moments, and even his last inning, like it looked like he was really, he was fighting his control. Like it looked like fatigue was kicking in, that his control wasn't spot on, but when he needed to, he dialed it in and he'd get some more. But Jordan Montgomery, whenever he needed it, now looking back through the box score, Altuve hitless. He has 1 walk, which that was a borderline pitch that allowed the walk. Yordan Alvarez 0 for 4 on the day. Kyle Tucker 0 for 4 today. No Houston Astro got on base twice. They limited to the damage that there was only 1 real opportunity. I think they walked Maldonado in front of Altuve, and you're kind of like, okay, like, all right, I've seen this song and dance before. Like, if you're going to walk him in front of Tuve and Bregman, there's penalties that come with that. Montgomery and everyone else pitch themselves out of it every time.
Yeah, at the bottom of the 4th there, Astros, I would call this a little bit unlucky, getting 3 singles in a row, but putting them in places where you can't advance more than 1 base. That's not typical. If you string together 3 hits, usually you can score, but where they hit him, and Evan Carter, again, just being in the right place, getting the ball in quickly, he ends up striking Maldonado out, Montgomery did, to end that threat. But really just an excellent ball game played by the Rangers. I mean, you kind of have to tip your cap. You're the Astros. You just say, all right, Montgomery beat us tonight. I mean, the defense and pitching did their job. Bats just went silent.
Yeah, and I mean, you
mentioned
really
all there is to it.
Yeah, the the Jonah Heim single. Everything felt fast about this game. Both teams were swinging early.
Yeah.
A lot of first pitch swingings, a lot of quick at bats. It definitely looked like both teams had the mentality of almost respecting the starting pitcher on the level of like, hey, we're gonna have to hit them out of the game. Like they're good enough that being patient, I don't think is the way. Which is always it's a catch-22 come the playoffs, because then you'll see allowing a Jordan Montgomery to pitch late into this game, allowing Verlander to pitch late into this game. But yeah, I mean, Evan Carter doubles 2-0. He pulls one down the line, and remember, he takes the extra bag there.
Yep.
A really close play at second on Kyle Tucker, who's an all-world defender. So he gets in there on that. Second pitch from Heim, hits a single in the gap that easily scores a run. There you go. Hey, if Carter doesn't take that extra base, what does that do for the inning? They ended up getting the bases loaded in that inning, and Simeon and the old Bull Verlander had a fun at bat there, 2-0. Fouled back a good slider, and then he eventually gets him to pop out. And then Leody Taveras, like I've tried to drive home every time we talk about the Texas Rangers' depth of their lineup. To have a switch hitting center fielder with his offensive profile, compared to some of the guys on this team, sure, if you're going to compare his stats to Corey Seager, it's not going to look similar, but almost nobody in baseball looks similar to Corey Seager. Taveras leans back into one. No doubter. Makes it 2-0. And then there was really no scares. I mean, when Chapman comes in, I know, a lot of people have seen him pitch at that Houston ballpark and have seen a couple different results that haven't been so hot for him. And then I guess Houston's biggest opportunity, which turns into the signature play of this game, like you mentioned, Evan Carter next to the Crawford boxes against the bullpen wall, leaping up, makes the catch, and Altuve, who looked like he was trying to do smart base running by being on second base so he could go back to first if it was caught, looks like his feet just get a little chunky there, or maybe there's a moment of where he did think it dropped, that he doesn't touch second base coming back over the bag. All the Texas Rangers players kind of saw it immediately. They challenge it, double him up, and that was kind of it.
There's a reason I'm wearing these shades right now, Jake. What do I look like right now?
A ball player's ball player?
A guy, a ball player. Yeah. Exactly. This is Evan Carter look right here. From Elizabethton, Tennessee, 185 Hudson Drive, Wayne Hodge Insurance. Check them out. That was my host family in Elizabethton.
Okay, don't go to their home.
Yeah, an advertisement, a little jingle. 185 Hudson Drive, Wayne Hodge Insurance. Love that guy. Love that family. He was all over the place out there in left field. And again, he's a center fielder playing left field not out of necessity, but out of an abundance of wealth of options, because Taveras is out there. The play in Bregman has a new least favorite player, and it's Evan Carter. The first inning, he goes and like a really good route to that ball. If that ball gets over his head, Bregman's on second base. What do we say? Oh, here we go again. Here's the Astros. Bregman's doing it. And then off Chapman, gets out in front of one, hits it up there. And when you go past the left field wall there on the Crawford boxes, it just juts out, 25 feet back. And as an outfielder, that's there. You practice it. But there's just not a lot of times where you're on a track and you keep going and you keep feeling the dirt. And you don't feel the wall, because even the wall, there's the padded wall, then it goes back a few feet to where the screen is for the bullpen. It's just a mess out there, dude. And a young kid going back, like you can tell he was searching for the wall by the way he caught it and fell back. He was expecting a little bit of of something to give back on him right there. Instead, he found the air, but he gets back there, makes the catch, gets the ball in a timely manner that makes Altuve just kind of, I don't know if he forgot. I don't think that he realized he went past the base. I feel like he thought he had his foot on the base and then just retreated. But because the momentum took him over the base, essentially you crossed and you'd have to step off the base and step back on, head back to first. And I think in the heat of the moment, he's just like, no, I was on the base the whole time. I'm just going to go back. But that obviously game changing. You don't know what's going to happen after that. We've seen Chapman go awry very quickly with the balls, but instead 2 outs and gets Yordan, and that's it, man. It's like, yeah, Evan Carter right in the thick of things again for these Rangers, man.
And I want to drive home Evan Carter some more. He's 21 years old. This guy jumped into it. It felt like the middle of Texas's worst part of this season. Like they were just looking for bodies almost, and they call up the kid. And all right, so catching fly balls is catching fly balls. Like we don't need to. That was Jakey analytics there. Left field and right field, like the corner outfield, are different. Like the ball just comes off the bat different, and the ball spins, and like, I don't know. You're right. These guys are professionals, and if they're good enough, they're going to be able to make plays and catch the ball. But Houston, you got a bizarre left field with the Crawford box and everything you laid out. Number 2, this 21-year-old kid, full count Carter, or guy, from your Elizabethtown. What's the free ad for there?
185 Hudson Drive, Wayne Hod Insurance. Elizabethton.
All right.
Not town, Elizabethton.
We'll do a road trip there this offseason. Trev, if I'm doing my math right, he played 19 games of left field this year, or his career in the minor leagues. 20 games, of minor league left field baseball. He then played 18 games in left field for the Texas Rangers this year, and now he's playing it in the postseason. So yeah, I mean this guy who I don't know how good Elizabethtown baseball is. Elizabethton, excuse me. I don't know how good the local ball is in that town. I'm going to assume Evan Carter didn't play left field for that team. I'm going to assume he played
Probably
center or shortstop or pitcher or whatever the hell he wanted on that team. This is a guy that has less than 50 career times ever playing left field in a baseball game, and he made the plays he made today for the Texas Rangers, which, I mean, just put that in the bucket of, I know my predictions this postseason so far have been kind of dog shit. Well, I don't know how you predict this. I don't know if Chris Young, who's running the Texas Rangers, I don't know if Boch, I don't know who of them had this in their formula, and maybe they did, and maybe they're sickos. But yeah, I mean, he was an absolute, maybe the biggest game changer in today's game, outside of the starting pitchers, probably.
On the broadcast, they said Bruce Bochy about Evan Carter. He said, this kid doesn't even realize he's playing in the playoffs. Like, he doesn't know he's playing in the playoffs. And I think that might be the biggest compliment a manager can give to a young guy, like, meaning he doesn't give a shit. I heard that said about Eddie Rosario a lot before he came up. And I think he still, if you watch Eddie play, I feel like still works for him. Like, he doesn't give a shit. The moment doesn't matter. He's going to go give you an at bat, and he likes it. I mean, I don't know what's going through Evan Carter's head, but this guy is an absolute, he's a ball player, man. It's fun to watch kids like that can come up and they just play ball. Like, I bet you could put him in the infield right now if you wanted to. I bet you he could play shortstop. I bet you he could play middle infield right now. Like, he's that kind of player.
Athlete.
Yeah.
Trev, the Houston Astros in the last 5 innings tonight sent up the minimum of 3 batters. There is the Altuve double play.
Yeah.
I think that's your only outlier of someone getting on base. So there were some lineouts, like even a Abreu swing there in the 9th inning. You wondered how much juice that ball had on it. Dubon hits a line drive that's right at Tavares. But yeah, I mean, there was never really too much juice for Houston tonight, and I don't know. I think it's kind of just tip the hat to the Rangers and see you tomorrow.
I was waiting for the late inning Astros magic, but I think it was the Bregman fly ball, and it didn't go their way this time. And Evan Carter makes the play, and Jose Altuve makes a mistake. We talk about all the time, you got to play perfect baseball to beat the Astros. Rangers played perfect baseball tonight. Yeah. Perfect baseball tonight, and the Astros made the one mistake, or a couple mistakes.
Simeon had some nice plays. Seager had some not so routine plays that didn't become a problem or anything. That, yeah, you're right. I mean, they played a clean game as they could, and there was even I'm picturing a couple Jonah Heim fist pumps early. I think the first or second time they struck out Jordan.
For anyone that didn't see my tweets, my exes
at Trevor Plouffe.
My phone's dead, so I was going to show you the screenshots of them. But just go to the game day and go look at those at bats with Jordan and Jordan Montgomery, and it's just awesome, man. Like, read the pitch sequencing, see where the location was, and you can just kind of go through Montgomery's head on like where he was at, and it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the Jordan at bats, man. Whew, you're right. That was high level baseball. And Jordan Montgomery, he's got a free agency coming up.
Yeah, your head went the same place mine did.
My God. Reliable lefty that's excelled this year. Whew.
Yeah.
He might have some cool stuff in his basement soon. I don't know, Trev. What else do you have to close off on this game before we maybe tee up tomorrow a little bit?
That's it. I think we covered it. There wasn't a lot. I mean, it was good, solid baseball all around. A couple timely hits for the Rangers. That was it.
Yeah. The sun will come up tomorrow, and so will the DraftKings Sportsbook, because as you know, the playoffs are full tilt, and if you're looking to get in the game, you should sign up with DraftKings, because right now, if you bet $5 on baseball, you get $200 instantly in bonus bets. So what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Talkin. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for betting $5 on baseball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code Talkin. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles, 21 plus, ages vary by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. See dkng.co/baseball for eligibility terms and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. I don't know, Trev, excited to see it tomorrow. We've got Evaldi and Framber in this game. Again, a little 4:37, a little happy hour with the fellas, maybe, or the ladies, you know. I've never discriminated. And then 8 p.m., Phillies. Is that Wheeler Gallon or Wheeler Kelly? I'll get it up.
I don't have it up in front of me, but I will go get it right now. I love both these years. I haven't even really wrapped my head around
Wheeler Gallon.
Wheeler Gallon.
Nice.
Yep, Wheeler Gallon.
Nice.
I haven't really wrapped my head around this whole Phillies Snakes series yet. I mean, we're going to get into it tomorrow. I got baseball today in the morning. Then obviously we'll record tomorrow night, most likely. Framber versus Eovaldi is going to be great. I mean, Framber's, looking for a rebound start. Eovaldi's looking to just continue doing what he's done. He's getting this moniker now, like Big Game Nate. Like, about as good as it gets as a ball player. And holy crap.
Yeah. God.
No, I'm sorry. A praying mantis almost flew right into my face right now. What's happening?
Four really fun, good pitchers on the bump tomorrow. Hopefully Trev's still alive to talk about it with us. Looks like the Mantis has him.
I don't like this at all.
And it might be game over in Calabasas. All right, man. High and tight. Right. One game.
Hope I see you tomorrow.
Yeah, be safe out there, I guess.
Careful.
Holy smokes.
I see it now. He's just up there.
Be careful.
Chick sucks.
Right, Mantis.
Aren't those like the only known predator to the lanternfly? I don't know.
Do I just leave it in here overnight, or do I have to go get it?
I don't know.
I think I gotta leave it.
Don't the ladies eat the boy praying mantises? Praying manti?
Tell me about it.
Ball players. Ain't no beans in my chili.